morning, everyone. Welcome to the podcast session by Legacy of Literature Awards. And today we have Yuvna Tharani, ma'am, author of Footprints in Time. So, first of all, ma'am, welcome to our podcast session.
Thank you. Just a correction, it's Yuvna Tharani.
Okay, Yuvna Tharani, ma'am. Sorry. So, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself, how you get into writing?
So, hello everyone. Thank you for having me on this podcast. I'm Yuvna Tharani and I'm currently 17 years old, studying in grade 12. And writing has been something for me since the grade 5. Through English, I've always loved English, and learning and reading new poems and classics has been my hobby since childhood. So I've been reading a lot since childhood, and then in fifth standard, due to a project, I got an interest in writing poetry. So since fifth standard, poetry has become my escape of emotions.
It's amazing, ma'am. So, my first question would be your writing feels like excavation. What do you feel you're searching for when you write?
As I said, writing is an escape of emotions for me. So when I
Yes,
write, I do not have anything in mind. Whatever
yes,
comes to me, whether it's a feeling, whether it's a scent, whether it's an image, it goes on paper. The editing and fonting and everything is going to be done later. But the first thing is emotions, which come on paper. And I think that's what's it.
it's really amazing, ma'am. And can you recall the first moment you felt the pull towards storytelling?
So I have never been into writing stories or something. Footprints in Time is also such a book where it's just completely poetry in emotion. So it's
Yes,
like
ma'am.
a poem where you will walk through and you'll feel each and every emotion. Storytelling, I love to read, but I'm not a very good writer in stories. But I've been trying and learning new things. I've been reading a lot of novels currently, so I can, start writing stories maybe.
Yes, ma'am. And how do memory and nostalgia shape the emotional landscape of your work?
Memories are something you just hold on to. Sometimes
Yes,
they
ma'am.
make you cry, sometimes they make you laugh, and sometimes they are just there in a corner of your heart and you cannot express it with emotions, but they have to come out somewhere or the other. Sometimes it
Yes,
can be
ma'am.
on paper, sometimes it can be through a dance, but it can be through anything. So I think memory shapes a lot for me because I have a lot of sweet as well as bitter memories which helped me write this book.
That's amazing, ma'am. And how often writing about quiet, overlooked details you have written about that? So, what draw you to these small magics?
I don't think there's anything specific, but as I said, once when you sit to write something, an image or just even a scent that touches you, it brings you to nostalgia, and then you just spin out your emotions on the paper.
Yes, ma'am. And what role does silence play in your creative process?
Mm, I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Sure, ma'am. So, what role does silence play in your creative process?
Silence play. I think my ability to put my feelings into paper and then I think create them sometimes that really helped me.
Yes, ma'am. And how do walking through storms and wandering bookshops influence your imagination?
Mhm. So I think everyone has those moments where your life feels like, oh, I don't want to be in this life. I want to give up. And but then there's a certain point where you get like an energy, like I can walk through this. And walking through storms and wandering to bookstores is like, even though I am suffering, even though I'm at the lowest of my life, even though I do not know anything that's going to happen the next second, I just know that books, my only best friends, are always there for me. They are an
Yes,
escape. whether I can write them or read them, they are like just an escape for me so I can get out of the feeling of being miserable in my life.
Yes, ma'am. And do you write towards healing, understanding, or simply expression?
Sorry.
Do you write towards healing, understanding, or simply expression?
Writing for me is towards healing personally, but sometimes it
Yes.
can be to an expression also.
Okay. And ma'am, is there a particular memory that you return to often in your writing?
A particular memory, not anything as such, because I never thought of being an author. That was never in my career goals. It was always being a scientist. But a particular memory was when my dad told me the first time after I showed him my book copy. He was like, I hope one day you'll become an author, a New York Times bestseller. So I think that
Yes.
was a core memory.
That's really amazing, ma'am. So, like you mentioned, your dad, I want to know what was the reaction of your family or friends when they first got to know that you have written the book and published it, this poetry collection.
No one actually in my family knew, apart from my dad and my brother, knew that I have written a book and I'm going to publish it. The news
Okay.
went live after the book was published, and it was such an amazing and shocking reaction for everyone in my family because no one
Yes.
ever thought that I have the writer person in me. So it was quite shocking for everyone. But as soon as everyone started getting the books and reading it, they really loved it. And I used to get calls from my family and friends every day saying that your book is amazing and it's just like walking through feelings, and I can feel it myself, and that was really amazing.
That's really amazing, ma'am. And are you planning to write something more? Is there is another project that you are working on?
So I recently published another book, The Threads That Pull Us, which is a story, which is the first time I've written a storybook. And it's
Okay.
like a prose, but in a story. And please read it if possible.
That's amazing, ma'am. Can you give us a brief about that book as well?
So the threads that pull us is basically about your connections with people throughout the world. There are some certain threads with some people which keep us attached to them, and the storybook is basically about two of those people trying to find their threads towards each other.
Yes. And ma'am, about this poetry collection, what emotions are the hardest and most necessary for you to put into words?
Acceptance is the hardest emotion, which is very difficult to put into words because once you put the acceptance feeling into words, it's like you're accepting something that you did not want to accept, and I think that's the worst feeling I've felt as a poet.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. And how do love and loss intertwine in this poems you have chosen?
Can you please repeat?
Like how do love and loss intertwine in this poetry collection that you have chosen to tell?
Love is something where you don't experience very often, but when you do, it's like giving your heart out to someone and hoping that they would take care of it. But
Yeah.
when they just throw your heart, that's the feeling of loss. And both of them have been shaped together because love is a feeling. When you express it, you know that there's loss. But since you're enjoying the love feeling, you do not want to accept that there's gonna be loss someday.
Yes, ma'am. And do you see stories as discoveries, destinations, or something else entirely?
I read a lot. I read classics the most, Sherlock Holmes, and then Pride and Prejudice. I've been reading them, and they are like my forever favorites. But recently, I've started reading a lot of novels, including Jeffrey Archer currently.
So, who's your favorite author, ma'am? Who inspired you to write?
Currently, Jeffrey Archer is my favorite, but he did not inspire me to write. The inspiration of writing came from within.
Okay, that's great. And how do you navigate the balance between vulnerability and creativity privacy?
As I said, emotions is the first thing that I experience to put it on paper.
Okay.
Creativity is something which I do not focus on while I'm writing. For Footprints in Time, especially, I did not at all focus on creativity or proper words or anything as such. It wasn't even my mind to publish it. It was just to pull out all of the emotions which were hidden inside me and somehow find a safe place for them.
That's great, ma'am. And what do you hope readers carry with them after closing one of your pieces?
I really hope that whatever I have written, they feel it and they accept it, and they also have a safe place to take out all their emotions. For me, winning an award was obviously really amazing and shocking. But I think the actual reward is when someone would come and tell you that I love the words you wrote, and they actually helped me heal. They actually made a safe place for my emotions. They really, I felt your emotions. What you have written, I felt it while reading. That would be a great reward.
Definitely, ma'am. And is there was any positive reviews you have received from your readers that you want to share?
So there are many positive reviews, but I would say the core review which I got was from one of my dad's friend. His name is Deepu,
Okay.
and he was the first time when I told him that I've written a book, he immediately bought copies and he spread it to his friends and his relatives. And I got compliments from everyone for that book, including him. He did give me some certain measures how to improve my writing, but when he said that I felt your words, whatever you have written, I resonate with them. That touched my heart.
That's a really good memory, ma'am, that you have shared with us. And ma'am, if you could describe your writing in a single sensory image like sound, texture, or color, what would it be?
It would be sound. The
Okay.
sound of Lord Krishna's flute, which is super
Yes, ma'am.
relaxing. Anytime, anywhere, you hear it, you just know that you are calm from within. Writing is somewhat that for me.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, is there is any message that you want to give to your readers through this podcast session?
Um, I don't have anything as such, but just express your emotions in the best way possible. Because being a science student as well, I've learned that if you keep on storing your emotions, they'll come out in a way that you don't want it to. It might be
Yes.
anger, it might be sickness, it might be just depression. So, in fact, do it in a way which you feel creative. It might be singing, dancing, writing, anything.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining me on this podcast session, for giving me such a beautiful insights. It was a really amazing experience.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.